The Champions League predictions, we had to. It's getting so good. On one end of the story, it's Declan Rice bringing back free kicks like he's never done before. On the other end, Lamine Yamal Lewandowski. There is so much to predict. Well, basically, it's the impossible job. We're going to say the final four teams, aren't we?
We're going to do that, Theo. One or two of them are easy. One or two are very, very difficult. But let's start with Aston Villa against Paris Saint-Germain, because Villa, 8 wins in a row. Then they go to Paris and they get massacred, don't they, Theo?
They do, yeah. I was at the game, so I can talk about it. Video coming soon on the main channel. Unai Emery wanted to contain at the beginning, and it's exactly what Prince William said in his pre-match punditry. He was saying that they need to deal with the high press of PSG, the same way that they got Liverpool out the tournament in their own stadium. So, I mean, PSG are playing well, Dad, but first things first, Prince William, future pundit, he just loves it.
Do you know what, Theo? I listened to his 5-minute interview, and he is well-spoken, he is knowledgeable, he is confident. He clearly loves football, and he's bringing along little Prince George to the game. Love to see that. Will he be at Villa Park?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be there, Dad. They've got to believe it's only a 2-goal difference. They can make the comeback. Any Villa fan watching this, keep the faith is what I'll say. Look at what Arsenal did at home to Real Madrid. You know, if you play exactly like that, you'll go through. And that's against the best team in the world, the Galacticos. So I have confidence in, well, the problem is that PSG team is really good.
Yes.
And they've got momentum. They went to Liverpool, they got a win. Desire Doué, incredible solo effort. Then it was Kvaratskhelia who just ran the whole game. Every time he was on the ball, they didn't know how to defend against him. Then Nuno Mendes at the end with that brilliant touch in. Goodbye to the defender and the goalkeeper.
Do you know what? In terms of Kvara, Theo, because for me, he is a match changer. He's a match winner, isn't he, Theo? Do you think he's one of the top 5 players in Europe right now?
I do, actually, Dad. And you could name that about a lot of the PSG players.
Yeah.
I think Vitinha is one of the best pocket midfielders in the game right now. What I mean by pocket midfielder is where they sit between the defence and the midfield and just get the ball fed to them from defence. And then they do the work of breaking down that passing lane into the attacking positions where Kvaratskhelia and Desire wait, and also other players like Fabian Ruiz, Ousmane. You know, this is a very well-balanced PSG team, and for years they've struggled with balance. Yeah. That's what Luis Enrique brings to the table. That's why I think PSG are one of the favourites to win the Champions League, and that's why I favour PSG coming away from, well, I think they'll come away with a victory here. I'm going to go first and say that Villa will score in this fixture. They do have a lot of threat. Morgan Rogers scored at Parc des Princes. That's one for him in the history books. Did the Cole Palmer, of course. I reckon this time it'll be, I don't know, Donny Mallon. Let's give him a goal off the bench. But PSG will already be 2-0 up by that stage, so the full-time result will be 2-1, sending them through on aggregate 5-2. Whopper.
That is enormous, Theo. Now, PSG, they've pretty much won the French league, 22 points ahead of OM, and I think they might win the Champions League. I really do. They are that good.
PSG-Barca could be the final.
It could well be the final.
Or will Barca be out? Because we need to predict that.
Let's wait and see.
Wait and see.
Villa 1, PSG 2.
We agree on the first.
Borussia Dortmund against FC Barcelona. Now, probably a meaningless game because Barcelona are 4-0 ahead. Now, let's talk about Dortmund for a minute.
Yeah.
Because you see, you know, you like this team, but this season, 8th in the Bundesliga, it's not happening, is it?
No, they were Champions League finalists and now they're far from it. They've had a weird season with managerial changes, believing in Nuri Sahin. I never thought he'd be the one, and now they're getting smashed. They were very lucky to get through against Lille in the last round of the Champions League. Barcelona outplayed them in their own stadium last time.
Yes.
And they're going to do it again. I don't even think they'll score at home. I'm very disappointed that we've got teams at this. I think I would rank Dortmund the lowest out of every single team left in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Lower than Villa, lower than Inter and Bayern, for sure. It's just disappointing. It's a shame to see the way the club has fallen. Obviously, they've sold a lot of their best players over the years. They are a selling club, profitable, but talking about a Champions League trophy, and I think they can get it. The way they played, it was Rafinha, it was Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski. You don't know where the trouble will come because it's every direction. But I do have to give a massive shout out to Pau Kabassi, who would have had his first Champions League goal, but it was robbed by Rafinha, who slid the ball on the line into the net, absolutely stole his goal. I bet he had a word with him at full time. I mean, that's just unfair. Rafinha, come on, man. I know we're talking about a Ballon d'Or, but that's just stat padding at its finest.
Talking about stat padding, though, Rafinha, 5 key passes, 2 assists, and 1 goal.
Yeah.
Lewandowski, 2 goals. So those 2 guys were the men of the match.
Unbeaten run of 23 games with 19 wins, Dad.
They've not lost in 2025.
Yeah, they won 4-0, and Fermin Lopez should have scored. He hit the post very close. It could have been more. That's what we're saying. And I think they'll win 2-0 here at Dortmund. They won't need to push on and score 3, 4 or 5. I think they'll clear them out. 6-0 aggregate. What's your score?
I think it's going to be 7-1 on aggregate.
Wow.
I'm going to give Dortmund a goal. 3-1 Barcelona.
Massive.
Inter Milan against Bayern Munich. Now, what a cracker, Theo. Inter in Milan are defending a narrow lead. I mean, who'd have predicted that, eh? An away win.
Fratesi, 88th minute winner at the Allianz away. That is incredible. Inter are shocking everybody. I didn't expect that outcome. You're coming up against Michael Olise, Thomas Muller. The list goes on, and we're forgetting the main Don, Harry Kane. Where's his goals? Where he shaved the right post in the first half. Didn't score in that 90. He will be licking his lips at San Siro. We know Inter are very good at holding off leads. Traditionally, defensively solid. And with that 5-back system, 3-back, however you want to call it, they look very good. But will Bayern break them down in the next 90?
Well, I tell you what, nobody has over their last 11 games, because that's how long Inter's unbeaten spell has gone, Theo. They're top of their league in Italy. And the thing about this, they're playing good teams most weeks, aren't they?
They are, and they're even allowing good XGs. Bayern had a 2.65 XG,
yes,
and they only scored 1 goal. But Inter, they have a mentality of when they're on the ball, they do a lot with it. Their XG was only 0.91, scored twice. That's a psychological edge at the San Siro.
And that was the problem, wasn't it? They should have scored 3 goals, and only Thomas Muller could actually get the ball in the net. And you go to Italy, you go to Inter Milan to try and win. That is tough.
Horrible. You've still got Mkhitaryan, Barella, Lautaro, Thuram, Jan Sommer. There's so many experienced names. Even their back three with Acerbi. It's incredible the way they play. So, it's not fashionable. It's not beautiful like Barcelona, but they will hold this game out. And I thought I'd be going into this game talking about Harry Kane, but I'm going to go in and say it's goalless. 0-0 because Lautaro did enough in the first leg.
I tell you what, Theo, Lautaro was one of the players of the match.
Yeah.
Jan Sommer, Theo, he was brilliant. 6 saves in that game. And I kind of agree with you. I think there'll be goals. 1-1.
1-1. So we both agree on a draw, sending Inter through to the next round. Bayern are going home. What is that? Is that company sacked, Dad?
No, Theo, it's not. Look, they're going to win the Bundesliga. Harry Kane's going to get his trophy, so it's not a bad season.
Yeah, but they do need to kick on, Dad. With players like that, they want champs. Bayern have got big goals, don't they?
They have. And last but not least,
small game
it's
this.
Real
We'll
Madrid
get over it quick.
against Arsenal. Now, Real Madrid 3-0 down, hoping for an absolute miracle. But Real Madrid, miracles happen there, don't they?
At the Bernabeu, one place where I just always see them come and go from losing positions and beating English teams.
Yes.
They've done it to Manchester City in their prime. By the way, they won that Champions League the next year with a very similar 11 with Pep Guardiola. Now it's another Spanish manager in Arteta, bit of an ex-Barcelona player going to Real Madrid as well. That adds another element to it. But first things first, Dad, Real Madrid, what's going wrong? They're 2 losses in a row. Last time at the Bernabeu, it was a 4-4 draw to Sociedad as well, which was weird, sent them through, but to concede 4 to Real Sociedad makes you wonder how much they can concede to Bukayo Saka, Mikel Merino on the form that he's in, and other great attacking players like Martinelli. Is this leg done?
It's not done, Theo. Never. Anyone who says this is over is a mug. And that includes Arsenal fans. They are still a little tiny bit nervous.
They are.
Because they know about the curse of the Bernabeu. But talking about Real Madrid, I think, yes, it is now 3 defeats in a row, isn't it, Theo?
It is.
They're not invincible this season. A lot of people thought with those Galacticos, with those 7 or 8 100 million euro players, they'd just win everything. And they haven't.
No, they didn't connect as well. They didn't connect.
And that is the
Kylian
problem.
Mbappe was trying to take on players in the middle of the park, and there's no one with him. What is the tactic here? Okay, maybe against Girona, who went for the league last year, maybe I need a better example of Valladolid, okay? Yeah, you could dribble past a 32-year-old Spanish guy who's probably, not Premier League level, but you come up against Arsenal and you've got Declan Rice and Thomas Partey breathing down your neck, and then Timber, Saliba, just everyone. Okay, not Gabriel in this game. Kyrgios did a good job, though. Kyrgios did a good job in the first leg. I think they just have to change their game. Ancelotti right now, there's a lot going on through his head because of the tax evasion fraud case that he's turning up to. He's still believing he'll beat that, but you've got to focus on the football. You've got so much money and a massive fan base. Real Madrid, I would say, is the biggest fan base in the world. They don't want to be let down. It comes down to this match. It's generational. Real Madrid, they don't even know if they're going to win the Spanish league. They need that Champions League. History can rewrite itself, but what will go down? What's your prediction, Dad?
Well, never say never, Theo, because you've mentioned the name Mbappe. Now, Prince William raised a very good point about chemistry. He left PSG, didn't he, Theo?
He did.
But often when you've got all these stars together, it doesn't gel. But having said that, Vinny, Mbappe, Luka Modric, Jude Bellingham, when those players are on a football pitch and they have to bring back a 3-goal deficit, it can happen. This is what's going to happen in this game, Theo. It's going to be 1-0 to Real Madrid within 15 minutes. Half-time, or within 60 minutes, it's going to be 2-0 to Real Madrid. Arsenal are going to score a goal in about the 80th minute, and then Real Madrid are going to go 3-1 up, and very late on, they're going to hit the bar.
Wow.
It's going to be 3-1 to Real Madrid.
Real Madrid will hit the bar and Arsenal go through.
Arsenal go through
I just
by the
pictured all of that.
skin of their teeth.
I just pictured that in my head.
Something like that will happen. I reckon Real Madrid go out there and play their socks off.
And by the way, they will do everything they can. They will be all over the referees, the linos. One thing Real Madrid fans in that lower tier of the Bernabeu do is scream they scream more than they celebrate. That's why people think Real Madrid buy the refs. They don't. It's the fans that squeal so loud that psychologically the referee puts decisions in favour of the Bernabeu. It's the way way the stadium is made, and it's genius from Florentino Perez, and he will be there, and everyone will be breathing down the neck of the referees, of the linos, of the VAR room. They will make it hell. It will be 90 minutes of hell. They will do absolutely everything. I think it's a guarantee that Real Madrid score 3 in this game, but I don't know if Arsenal will score 1.
Oh.
If Arsenal score 1, they've done it. That's it. But I don't think it will happen in 90. This game goes to extra time after a 3-0, and I think Vinny will click into gear a bit more. The thing in my head, I don't get it, right? Bellingham, he had a few moments where he played the ball through Mbappe, Emirates and stuff. They're going to have twice as many chances. They are going to be giving it everything. And I tell you what, Dad, they're going to score them. So at a time, it's going to be cagey. It's going to go all the way to penalties.
Yeah.
This is the only match I'm predicting will go the 120-minute distance. And on pens, Real Madrid are going to win.
No.
Because of experience and doing it before.
Oh,
I'm
my
sorry,
goodness.
Arsenal fans. I'd like to see an English team go through. I would, but I've just predicted both to go.
But you know what we haven't done in the last few minutes? We haven't mentioned the name Declan Rice. Now,
Wow.
just talk me through not doing it once, but doing it twice,
Well,
Theo.
I wasn't mad keen on the Champions League until I watched that game on telly, and I genuinely felt like I was in the stadium when I was there. First of all, there was this incredible atmosphere from Arsenal in the you could only see the lower tiers around, and that was amazing. I wish I was there to kind of document it, but that atmosphere in the lower tier, everyone wearing the scarves, amazing. Behind the goal looked crazy. When Declan Rice stepped up for that first free kick, I was like, Rice, really? Anyway, I've seen a video from F2 where he's pinging the ball around, and I was like, yeah, he can do it from a dead ball. Never scored one before. Went and did it against Real Madrid, but the second one was so inch perfect that it was like he blew the ball in the net. It was like it was like FIFA. It was like, how did that really go down? Like he just ran up to it with so much intent that you knew he would do it again. Same corner, top bins even more.
Yeah.
I think the second one's better, as Rice said in his post-match interview. That goal against the Galacticos, for all Arsenal fans there, that's memories for life. So as much as I'm predicting them to go out on pens, good luck, give it your all. You get one goal, it's done. So go to Madrid, be loud, make yourself proud.
Wow. So the semi-finals, we think, will be PSG against Barcelona.
Yes.
And Inter Milan against, well, I think Arsenal. You think Real Madrid.
Wait, does that mean PSG play Barcelona in the semis? I wanted that to be the final.
Isn't that the case?
It must be.
I think it is. I think it's all mapped out.
Which means
Tell me if I'm
Real
wrong.
Madrid will play Inter, so we could still be on for a Clasico final.
Yeah.
Real Madrid-Barcelona final. That
Wow.
would be insanity in Munich. Stay tuned, we're going to predict it.
Do you know what? I've got this funny feeling, Theo. I'm hearing the word PSG.
No!
I'm hearing the word PSG.
Luis Enrique against his old club, managerial. Well, we're going to continue the predictions. Maybe that will change. Don't give it away just yet. Stay tuned, and thank you for watching. Champions League is back. It's going to be incredible midweek games. Which one we'll be at, where we'll be making content, you'll soon see. See you all in a bit. Bye-bye.
See ya.